In 1942, the core belief of the USAAF was simple and, in German eyes, insane: daylight precision bombing. Why daylight? Because only in clear daylight could a pilot use the revolutionary Norden bombsight. The risk? Flying unescorted into the heart of German air power. German intelligence was dismissive. They called the new B-17 the Flying Fortress, but the Luftwaffe aces scoffed. Early missions over Europe, with inexperienced crews and lightly armed planes, suffered disastrous losses, confirming the German belief that the B-17 was an easy target. The American answer was not simply more guns, but mathematics. The invention of the combat box formation was a brutal interlocking web of fire, designed so that if a German fighter attacked one bomber's blind spot, it flew directly into the firing arc of two other B-17s. The fortress was not one plane, it was the entire deadly diamond of steel. Faced with this wall of fire, the Luftwaffe quickly changed tactics. Attacking the sides was suicidal due to the powerful waist and tail gunners. The solution became the dreaded head-on pass. This required incredible skill and nerves, a closing speed of over 600 mph, giving the B-17 gunners only seconds to react. The goal was to inflict damage and break the formation. The Americans' answer was not simply more guns, but mathematics. The invention of the combat box formation was a brutal interlocking web of fire, designed so that if a German fighter attacked one bomber's blind spot, it flew directly into the firing arc of two other B-17s. The fortress was not one plane, it was the entire deadly diamond of steel.
Life at 28,000 feet was brutal. Inside the unheated aluminum shell of the B-17, the temperature was -50 degrees Fahrenheit. Crews flew for up to 10 hours, suffering from frostbite and exhaustion. The air was thin, cold, and often thick with the smell of cordite and fear. The gunners were the heart of the defense. Singled out was the ball turret gunner, suspended beneath the fuselage, rotating 360 degrees. He was completely exposed, guaranteed to be the first man spotted by fighters attacking from below. This position had the lowest survival rate, a constant, chilling reminder of the mission's danger. The climax of the brutality came during the deep penetration missions. On Black Thursday, October 14, 1943, on the second raid of Schweinfurt, 60 B-17s were lost. The surviving crews returned, their planes looking like sieves, but their refusal to quit was the first psychological blow to the Luftwaffe. The Germans witnessed the impossible. Bombers with entire tails missing, multiple engines dead, still limping home. The B-17 was no longer just a target. It was a symbol of unyielding operational capability. The Germans grew desperate. They introduced massive, slow, twin-engined Zerstörers, destroyers, equipped with devastating 30mm cannons. They launched massive Wurfgranat 21 rockets from outside the B-17's gun range, attempting to break up the protective formation with pure shockwave. Finally, they resorted to ramming tactics, where pilots were ordered to intentionally collide with the bombers if their guns failed, an act of suicidal desperation showing how profoundly the Germans feared the relentless bomber stream. Yet every B-17 they shot down cost them 2 or 3 irreplaceable veteran pilots and machines. The Luftwaffe was winning battles, but losing the war of attrition, bleeding their limited resources, trying to defend their own skies.
The war turned on a single technological upgrade: The American P-51 Mustang, powered by the British Merlin engine. This gave the Mustang the range and speed to fly all the way to Berlin and back. This was the moment the B-17 crews had dreamed of, and the moment the Luftwaffe feared. The Luftwaffe's focus instantly shifted. They were no longer concentrated on the slow, massive bollers. They were forced into fighting the fast, deadly, highly maneuverable P-51 escorts. The B-17s became bait. The air war shifted from a bomber defense mission to a fighter destruction mission, a fight the drained Luftwaffe could not win. The B-17 had won by simply existing. Every German fighter destroyed represented an irreplaceable loss, while the Allied supply line was limitless. The B-17's strategic success was not measured only in bombed factories. Its true victory was forcing the Luftwaffe to fight on Allied terms, over Germany. This diverted critical fighter squadrons from the Eastern Front and meant that on D-Day, June 6, 1944, there was virtually no German air resistance over the landing beaches. The final cost was immense, nearly 4,750 B-17s lost in combat and over 30,000 airmen killed or missing. But this sacrifice bought the time and strategic control needed for the final invasion. The German pilots may have laughed at the name Flying Fortress in 1942, but by 1944 they had a terrifying respect for it. The B-17 never truly fell. It simply kept flying until the enemy ran out of fighters.